JV is back. Scott Harris decides to make some moves, and Chris Ilitch decides to spend a little bit of his money. Tigers baseball is back. Pitchers, catchers reported earlier today. Liam, how are we feeling? Tigers baseball is here. We got some really exciting news the last week that I didn't think would ever come under Scott Harris and Chris Ilitch this year.
Yeah, no, I feel great, honestly. Justin Verlander news was, I mean, obviously he's not 2011, 2013 Justin Verlander, but that's not what they're asking him to do.
No.
And they're gonna bring him back, and for once in the tenure of Chris Ilitch and of Scott Harris, this is like the first time it's actually seemed like, okay, they might have the smallest part of their pinky finger on the pulse of the fan base. And so that's what's so refreshing about it.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, Framber Valdez, that's, I mean, that's obviously the more big time signing. He's getting $115 million. But, I mean, that's something where you go out and signal to the team that, hey, whatever happens with Scooble, you still don't think the logic in me still tells me we aren't re-signing him. But you know what? If we end up not trading him and we go get Fromber, who pitches to a 97%, 97th percentile ground ball percentage, that is replicable. That is not
Yeah.
something that is a fluke. And he's
No.
been in the league for 8 years now, a couple all-star teams. Like, they are loaded on the pitching front, and I know Reese Olson went down for the year, but that's probably one of the stepping stones that accelerated towards the officials Verlander signing. So it's exciting for sure.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is very exciting. And you also talk about 1 to 2 with Tariq Skubal and Frommer. Like that is a 1-2 lefty combo that, in my opinion, you could throw them in every 5 game series, and you're basically should go 2-0. Like at this
Yeah,
point.
and then you hope you get one of them, and then you get back around to Scooble for the fifth game.
Yeah.
I Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Or you throw Casey Mize there, you get JV starting, you get
Jack
obviously
Flaherty.
Flaherty, Troy Melton as well. Obviously Reese Olson isn't going to be an option this year, but it almost kind of seems like the Tigers are like 5, 6 starting pitchers deep at this point. I think Reese obviously being out for the year is going to hurt that a little bit, but if that meant JV coming home, I would kind of take that trade off as long as Reese Olson kind of returns back to what he was when he was healthy.
Yeah, and Reese hasn't been pitching whole seasons to this
No.
point in his career, regardless. So yeah, why don't you take the extra time, get actually healthy,
Yeah.
and when you already have a good rotation, the rotation, if the Tigers miss the playoffs or season ends because the rotation sucked, that is not on Illich or Harris or probably even Hinch Feder. Like, that's
Yeah.
just, I mean, that's just the nature of sports at that point. If you're losing games because Scooble and Valdez are getting hit around the yard,
Yeah.
so yeah, man. I mean, literally, I think it's number one. I'm looking at Fangraphs right now. They're saying it's number two behind the Red Sox with Crochet and Ranger Suarez, Brian Bayo, Sonny Gray. I mean,
It's
maybe I'm
definitely
biased. I'm honest. I don't think that's
it's
better than
up there.
Scooble, Valdez, Flaherty, Mize, and you mentioned a name that, I mean, Tigers fans know about, but league wide, people need to get ready to learn Troy frickin' Melton, because
Oh
that
yeah.
dude is a dog. And I know we got a glimpse of him at the end of the season, or second half of the season, not the end. And then you saw him out of the pen in the playoffs pumping triple digits. But like, whew, like say even another injury, and again you got another starter, or your doubleheader starters, Troy Melton,
Yeah.
after facing Scooble, or like, oof, the pitching is loaded, and you just gotta hope the bats can come with it, because I think it's hard not to
Yeah.
get excited for a deeper push than ALDS Game 5, which is already a pretty deep push. I mean, you're one
Yeah.
literally one run away in 9 different damn innings from 18, but 9 extra innings from being in the ALCS, and then you're 4 games away from the World Series. So
Yeah.
it's hard as a Tigers fan to not be excited. I won't lie.
I was just gonna say, like, it seems like all right is in the world of Detroit sports right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
JV's back. Sounds like, at least from reporting, that JV might be wearing the Detroit Tigers hat into the Hall of Fame. I
Yeah, I
don't
think that's what
necessarily know.
Passan said.
Yeah, I believe that's what Pastor said towards his end of his tweet. I would love to see if that happened. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
not guaranteed until it actually happens, but this truly seems like JV's like swan song for the most part. I
Yeah.
still do think he has stuff left, and really the deal was quite interesting because it was 13 million, but 11 million was deferred until 2030. I didn't know Scott Harrison, Chris Ilitch pulled a Dodgers
Shohei.
move at all. That's my only kind of hope that maybe they sign Scuba long term and maybe kind of do a defer of money down the road. Because yeah, it's just interesting. And then obviously you have like the bad boy Pistons are back. The Red Wings are in a playoff spot. Lions are looking good heading into next year, hopefully. It truly seems like there's a lot of excitement, and obviously JV coming back home is, in my opinion, one of the biggest moves, at least when it comes to the thoughts of the fan base. Like, it's not going to be one of those flashy moves that are going to be like, oh, this is a great signing. Like, I think JV as your 5 is going to be pretty good, and even if he struggles this year, it's Justin Verlander in a Detroit Tigers uniform. I don't know about you, but like I grew up watching Justin Verlander in a Tigers uniform. There's something different about that. And then you have him with Tariq Skubal. It's just kind of like a repeat of Justin Verlander kind of coming into the league in like 5. And now
Yeah.
it's kind of Justin Verlander's bringing along Tariq Skubal, but he doesn't really need to do that either.
Oh my God. Yeah, I kind of forgot what you said a little bit because I was gonna say something, but yeah,
You're
I
good.
totally watched him growing up. I mean, I tried to pitch like him. I tried to emulate that, not violent. I don't know how to describe it, but that's so perfect leg kick that he has every time. A little, it. I tried to throw like him, and for once in my life, I didn't see it on Twitter or get a push notification. I actually just opened up Instagram yesterday, like 11 minutes after, and I saw the first post on my feed was the Tigers post, and I was like, "Oh my God, that is like awesome!" Texting my family, like that low key makes it better, by the way, instead of just getting notifications all the time. I
Yeah.
that was awesome, but oh man, yeah, no, it is. It's Pistons are hooping, Wings playing good hockey, top of the Atlantic. Lions. Lions will get right, you know that. And this Tigers team, the reinforcements are not done coming when you look
No.
down on the farm with Kevin McGonigal, Max Clark, Josue Briseño, who else? Tehran Lorenzo. Like,
Yeah.
this is like a serious freaking thing now, and it's not the 2024 0.01% 0.01 run that they
Yeah.
made the playoffs. Like, this is a team that's now pretty heavily favored to win the Central, and obviously the debacle last year, but that's not going to happen again. I mean,
No.
and you make moves like Kenley Jansen, another guy towards the end of his career, but another guy that's been there in big spots, coming out of the bullpen, has some stuff. Finnegan back, Vest back, like Torres back. This team is like a legit baseball team now, and I don't even think, like, sure, compare them to the Dodgers, and you're like, okay, well, they're not that good, but like
No.
it is a legitimate baseball team, and they are 100% the best team in the American League Central.
Yeah.
And so if you can parlay that into 95 wins, it and like you mentioned with the 5-game series with that pitching staff, I don't think a World Series appearance is like that far fetched.
I agree, and I think if you're comparing this team to some of the best teams in the MLB, I think pitching staff is right up there better
That's what
than a
I'm
majority
saying.
of them. Like, and obviously pitching can take you so far. We saw we saw the offense last year at points go real stagnant, and I think
Yeah,
that's going to be
yeah.
probably the biggest concern, but this might be a team that wins you a ton of games that's like 2-1. And if your pitching staff gives up 1 run or 0 runs, like you should win a majority of those games. And you have had moments where a guy like Spencer Torkelson has had a big hit, Riley Green has had a big hit. Are they going to be quote unquote the star players that we hope or that we want them to be? Maybe Riley Green, but there's moments where like they need to step up and they haven't.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
Kerry Carpenter back. Like there's potential in this lineup. I still would have loved for them to go out and get a big bat per se, but like if the basically follow up prize to that is Framber Valdez, I am doing cartwheels because this is going to be a pitching lineup. This is Comerica Park. I would not want to be any team coming into Comerica Park going up against this bullpen, going up against these 5 guys. And I think this is the first time in a while that we can say that this is a team that is absolutely buying. This is a team that should be not only winning the AL Central, but should be competing quite far in the playoffs. And I don't think we've should or have been able to say that for a long, long time since really like 2016.
No, no, you haven't been able to say that in a long time in Detroit. Um,
I want to know what changed. Like what changed overnight? Like there was a little bit of like some like rumor communication about Valdez, but it was like Tigers a little bit and then everyone else. And then one night it just Valdez gets a 3-year, $115 million deal. You have JV
I think it
coming
was
back like
when State was losing to Minnesota, wasn't it? When he
yeah,
signed
I'm pretty
Framber.
sure it was at the end of that game. So it's
Yeah,
like that made it feel a little bit
a
better
little
for
better. It actually did. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
maybe something was like slapped in their face and they're like,
Yeah,
hey,
some
maybe we have a real opportunity here to do something.
maybe they sat there and they're like, okay, well, if we're not going to re-sign Tarek, why don't we just try to win this year? Because that's what I would probably do when I have the back-to-back Cy Young winner headlining my rotation every fifth
Yeah.
day.
But
I don't
here's
know.
my opposition to that a little bit, though. I agree. Don't get me wrong. I completely agree. But the one thing Scott Harris has always preached is
Is
that he
building from
wants to
within.
build a sustained
Winner.
team winner that can compete year in and year out. And I'm not saying Tariq Skubal is going to be back, but if this is your move and you're going for like a 1-2 year move, is there a little bit of pressure on Scott Harris to get this team going? I don't necessarily know. It's definitely interesting. If you do sign Tarek Skubal and this is like the move that kind of starts it, it makes sense. He's
Oh,
just trying to get it going. But it's a little bit outside of what Scott Harris has
uh,
done. But full on credit to him and full on credit to Chris Ilitch for actually opening up the pocketbook for a little bit.
yeah, I don't know if you saw it. I saw one of the clips from Harris today at the first media availability in a while because of pitchers and catchers reporting, and I know the position he's in, and he naturally kind of has to bow down, I guess, bow up to Illich, but he was saying that he called Illich about some negotiations, or that Illich was basically like all in and super excited about spending this money, and Harris was talking about how it's really encouraging. Now, who knows how much that's the truth? But they did go out and sign an $115 million contract that no one
Yeah.
really saw him doing. And again, Verlander, let's put it this way. I love Justin Verlander, and I am incredibly happy we made the signing. I don't think there are many other teams that were going to pay him $13 million for a 1-year deal at this point in his
Probably not.
career. But again, that's partly because he built the reputation here and
Yeah,
deserves it from us. But
I would do it
um,
100% every single day and twice on Sunday to get
ex-
Justin Verlander back
exactly.
to
I
Detroit.
said to one of my friends, it's like you just need Miggy to come out of retirement and play DH for or first base for 1 game. Um,
Could he even
but
lift the ball anymore? Like, I don't know if he could even lift the ball. Like,
oh,
he could
dude,
barely lift the ball
he
when he
probably
was
couldn't
playing
swing.
years ago.
No, that opening day home run he hit in 2021 in the snow was like the last. That was like the last of any Miggy moment. But anyways, that's completely off
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's strange. It is. You bring up a good point. Like the sustained winner, win from within to win from the farm, and they're going away from that. Maybe because maybe you're right, and this is kind of how they're gonna initiate bringing back Scooble, and you hope so because it seems like Scooble loves the city, loves playing for the Tigers.
Yeah.
I'm we didn't talk about this on here. Obviously, it was basketball season, but that day he hit up the MSU Oakland game in LCA. Then he went to the Pistons game at LCA later that night. I think he hit the Wings game the next day, and then like the Lions whenever they were home the next Sunday. It's like, dude. And he's always posting Detroit stuff. And I think on
Yeah.
his story today, he had the 5 in the rotation picture, which is a sweet picture. He had the picture of him and Verlander. Like, it's like, dude, this guy wants to stay. So maybe you're right. I would love if your theory came true. That would be phenomenal.
Yeah. That truly would honestly be great, but maybe this is just a sign that they know it's time to go for it. That really kind of outside of like Kevin, outside of Max Clark, outside of those guys, like they are right on the precipice of coming up to Detroit. Like they are
Yeah.
right there. There's some argument that Kevin McGonigal should be in Detroit at the start of the
Opening
season,
day. Yeah.
opening day. Do I think that happens? He has to have a good spring training, but I think he has the talent to do so. I think he's going to obviously be up in September when there's the call ups and stuff
Yeah, I
like
think he'll
that.
be up
But
before then.
yeah, but there's a real possibility that they're like, okay, like this is like the stars now, and like this is really kind of the start of sustaining something, and if that means the Tigers are back in the ALCS, would love that. It's been so long. Imagine getting
Let's get
all four good Detroit teams at once. We've had it in the past where there's been like three, but
Yeah, but
now
the
all
Lions
four.
were always bringing it up the rear.
Yeah, but
I'm about to look at the odds right now just for
but
the
I
Mariners.
even I just want to
You know
talk
what
a
I would
little
love?
bit.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say before you go, I would love a Tigers Red Sox ALCS and avenge the 2013 Big Poppy hits the salami and Torrey Hunter goes flipping over the wall and it basically not ended, but completely turned the series on its head
Yeah,
for Boston. We need to avenge that at some point, and this year in the ALCS, that would be sweet.
I would love for Torque Bomb to do that. Spencer Torkelson to truly kind of give the Tigers the series. I would love that, but I do want to say like earlier during the off season, I made, which probably something a lot of people didn't see, but I made a short video of Scott Harris and my thoughts on Scott Harris, and I think at the time it was pretty accurate, like really frustrated, like it was more of just like he's doing nothing, like he's not making sense. But now I'm like, it's a basically 180 for me. Like this just makes sense, and I still to this day don't know why, what changed, what did it take convincing? Was this something that was always in discussion, and it was just like, hey, let's just wait. I truly don't know, but at the end of the day, this pitching staff is going to be mean. This starting lineup, while there are still going to be holes there, especially I think at third base, I know a lot of people are saying, well, we got some good play from third base throughout the season, but like, it, at the end of the day,
AJ,
yeah.
keep
At the end
going.
of the day, we don't know. But what we do know is that 1 through 5, as long as they stay healthy, going to be real fun. And that first JV star at home
That'll be
must
nails.
attend game, in
That'll
my
be
opinion.
sick. Dude, wait. We're gonna do a
I,
little bit of research.
I did look, and I believe there's a way the Tigers, and I saw on Twitter, there's a way for the Tigers to start
Home
JV at
opener.
home for the opener because the first 6 games are on the road. So if JV starts the second game, hypothetically, he would be the
Oh,
opener for
they
the
won't do
home.
that.
You
I
never
that
know.
that would be even a better pulse on the fans. I almost
Or what
think
if
it's
you
more likely they
start
just don't
him
start
for
him until the
6?
7th.
Yeah. I was
We
just
don't
gonna
need
say start with Scubal, Valdez, then you can go Flaherty
Scooble,
probably,
Valdez, Flaherty, Mize,
Mize,
Melt,
Melton.
and Scooble, Verlander. That would be the sickest thing ever. That would actually be insane.
Welcome back to Detroit on opening day,
Who do we
JV.
get? St. Louis. That's an interesting opening series. Yeah, that would be incredible. But yeah, I don't know what changed either. You bring back Glaber for 22 million. You get Valdez, I mean Kenley wasn't expensive, but I don't know. I'm pumped though. I completely agree. I had been very critical of Scott Harris, but it seemed like again, what changed? Who knows? But it changed for the better.
Yeah.
And
Tigers are back.
yeah, I think that's all we can
April
say.
in the D is going to be a real thing this year again.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. But
man.
any last thoughts? Any last thoughts on JV, his deal, 13 million, 11 deferred, Farmer Valdez here? We've talked about everything. We talked about how excited we are. We talked about a little bit of hitting, obviously mostly pitching staff, which I think is where most people are going to be happy, be reliant on throughout this year. But when you have AJ Hinch, Chris Fetter, you're going to be a really, really good team. And it truly seems like Detroit sports and Detroit Tigers are truly back. And I don't know about you, but I'm really excited to hear Jason Benetti once again, the main guy calling the games. And I think it's going to be a real, real fun season. And I'm honestly really looking forward to it so much more than I was about a week ago.
Yeah, no, actually, it's crazy how quickly you can change just like that. I guess a couple thing or maybe one thing.
You
Um,
can do a couple things.
success of or this team can be a lot more successful if Parker Meadows plays more like he did at the end of 2023 and when
Agreed.
he was healthy in 2024 opposed to last season.
Yeah.
Um, because the defensive value he brings, he has to hit bad enough to outweigh his defense, which it's kind of hard to do, but he actually almost did do that last year.
I think he
Sadly,
did down the stretch.
right? Oh, down the stretch completely. I
Yeah.
mean, almost more from the second half onwards, even more than that. And he was battling injury, but he is so valuable in center field that if he can be a league average hitter, he is a 4 WAR player, a really valuable player,
Yeah.
and and put in his take into account his speed on the bases. Because if there's one thing the Tigers didn't really do well last year, it was steal bags. Uh, you need a Parker bounce back season. You need Carey to mash like he's been. You need Cole Keith to bounce back a little bit.
Agreed.
And when he gets his shot, the number 1 prospect in baseball, number 2 by some sites, needs to rake. And this team, I'm telling you, could go far.
Yeah.
Far.
I think that should be the expectations at
And
this
Dingler
point.
also needs a hit. Dingler
Yeah.
needs to hit like he was first half of the year again. And we had a lot of our hitters when we started off first team to 60 wins raking, and then all of a sudden they got hung
Everyone
over for the
just
next 3 months after the
yeah.
All-Star break.
Yeah, everyone just forgot how to hit. And
Yeah.
like there was moments where they were good, but like everyone just forgot how to hit all at once, which shouldn't happen. But I think Dingler should obviously be the starting catcher this year for the majority of the season. I think Jake Rogers should obviously be the backup. I'm going to be interested to see Javi this year. It truly seems like Javi, like when a team is good that he's on, he performs decently well. We do like the jersey. We do like the jersey. We don't necessarily like him all the time, especially after he's swinging pitches 12 feet off the plate. But Javi's had moments, and as long as he's not hurting the team too much, we're good.
That game 4 homer he hit
Oh yeah, I love
will
that moment. He absolutely
probably
deserved that.
never get mad. I mean, he had maybe the two most memorable. That's maybe a little bit of a stretch, but the walk-off nuke against Boston and then the game 4 homer. The walk-off nuke against Boston, though, that was when I like legit was like, oh, Tigers might be like
Yeah,
good this year. If Javi's hitting 2 homers and one of them's a walk-off, like, but yeah, no,
it's going to be fun. I
I mean,
love this team, man.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. Jeez, I could talk forever about this, but I mean,
Why not bring a ring home? Why not win a ring
like
for JV last year?
seriously, like actually, why not? You have
Why not? Why not us at this point? I feel like that's kind of a bad like thing to say because a lot of people say why not us to like bad teams, but legitimately like with this pitching rotation, like you should be in a lot of these games and you should win a lot of games. The
and you
only team right now that
yeah.
concerns me are the Dodgers, and from the AL side of things, Seattle. That's it.
Yeah, which I'm looking at the sportsbook odds, and they actually the favorite to win the AL is New York. The team. All right, we're just gonna do this, and then we can end the episode. The teams ahead of the Tigers are the Yankees,
Mm,
Mariners, yes,
okay.
Blue Jays, yes, and then Boston and Baltimore. I'm not too scared, but
No.
did what did Baltimore do really quickly? What did Baltimore do to? Did
Baltimore
they
doesn't
fix their
scare me.
pitching? Dude, they still have no,
They have
is
no pitching.
their pitching. It says Chris Bassett, Shane Baz, Trevor Rogers, Kyle Bradish, Zach Eflin. Like, whoa. If
No.
the Tigers lost the series to that just because they have what Pete Alonso now, like, come on.
Tigers should finish with one of the best records in the AL, and anything
Yeah,
else is a disappointment.
yeah, completely agree.
Awesome. Well, what a fun episode. Did not expect to be talking Tigers for 30 minutes, but I truly think both of us are really excited. Obviously, once the season gets closer, we'll do a little bit more Tigers content, but Justin Verlander back in the Detroit D like it was absolutely meant to be. And
Oh yeah,
hopefully one day he'll be wearing that Tigers hat in the Hall of Fame. But shout out to Chris Ilitch, shout out to Scott Harris. Crazy last week, but truly, truly, Detroit sports are back. Detroit Tigers are back, and we are more than excited for the season this year. But thanks everyone for tuning in. If you like the content, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. More Tigers baseball will be up and coming, but what an off season, what a last week, and can't wait to watch this team play this year. Thanks for tuning in and tune in to the next episode.